And the purpose of the project is for the member to introduce themselves to the club and learn the basic public speech. Uh, the speech title is The Courage to Change Paths, and the path level is Dynamic Leadership. Level 1, Project 1, First Speech. It's an icebreaker speech, and over to you, Speaker 2, Divya Dsouza. The Courage to Change Paths. The Courage to Change Paths, Divya Dsouza.
Long, long time ago, in a distant, faraway Arab land, Saudi Arabia, was born a child of Indian origin to her parents' delight, the apple of her father's eye, and she truly was pampered by everyone around her. This little girl grew on believing that she can do anything, and soon afterwards, she was joined by her little sister and little brother, and she took on her role as the elder sister very seriously. Years later, this little girl, who believed in herself, was also one of the most naughtiest kids in school. And at every now and then, her father would find himself in the principal's office. Mr. Dsouza, your daughter has beaten up a boy once again. And this girl, who believed that she could do anything as good as a boy, being a girl, she did it perfectly well. She washed cars, she played football, she broke a few bones, and also broke a few teeth of her boyfriends. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, that little girl, that naughty little girl was me. I feel very sorry looking back at my poor father. All those countless trips back to the headmaster's office, and every time coming back, listening to all of those complaints patiently, quietly, but walking out with me with a smile on his face made me believe that I have nothing to worry about. But the story back home was not the same. There would I have my mother standing there with her big eyes and a big scale. What is your story this time? Have you no shame? Is this the way a girl is supposed to behave? Well, as I said, I believed that I could do anything. And I soon started learning the tricks of the trade, learning everything that I could in that land in Saudi Arabia, with the limited resources that I had. But soon I came to Mangalore and I joined St. Mary's School. And there, although I had to adjust to all of the new ways of how it was in India, I loved the freedom and exposure we had to art, to music. And still, my mom now had to visit the principal's office every now and then, the poor lady. And soon I discovered that as the days went by, I wanted to take up science because I believed in computer science and I loved the way animation and cartoons were. So I took up science, but soon I realized in college that it wasn't what I thought it would be. Instead of all the animated graphics, all I was exposed to was coding, coding, and more coding. Well, that path led me to becoming a software programmer in Wipro. But somehow it was not for me. It didn't make me feel fulfilled as I wanted to feel. And soon I started developing spondylitis at the young age of 22. Even my body seemed to be objecting. I finally decided maybe it's time for me to make a change. And then just before I was deciding to quit, I had an opportunity to go to take up a project in the US. Everybody was excited. But then I was thinking to myself, if I go down this path, there's no turning back. So I took a few moments, a few days, and then I finally took my decision. I decided to quit. My dad was furious. My mom was very upset with me. The person who was always there with me every time, for the first time, he said, "Are you mad? Do you know what you're doing? All that money, all of that is all going to be a waste. And this is what you're going to do? Now on, you're on your own." Shocked and heartbroken, I realized that now I'm on my own, but I took the courage to change my path. From software, I went into sales. I went and worked in JTM as a sales programmer, selling mobile connections. Then from sales, I went to operations. From operations, exploring newer possibilities. I started seeing people all around me and I started wondering, I'm enjoying myself, but everybody seems to be climbing straight ladders. And my life seemed to be like jungle gym. Was I doing something right or was I doing something wrong? But along that journey, I realized that my paths, everything taught me something. Software taught me systems. Sales taught me communication. And most importantly, operations taught me problem solving. And that brought me to understanding who I am as a person. Because wherever I was, whatever I did, the one thing I realized about myself is I loved working with people, helping them to believe in themselves, helping them to learn new perspectives. And that curiosity brought me closer to NLP or neuro linguistic programming, where I started becoming a reprogrammer of people's minds because NLP helps your thoughts, your behaviors, and actions to change the way you think and also change the way your outcomes are for you. So, ladies and gentlemen, all through those journey, one thing I realized that all those different paths were not mistakes. They were, in fact, preparation. Because helping people change the way they think, you need systems, you need operations, and you also need to understand the human behavior. I took that courage to change my path. And because of that, I found myself. I didn't lose my way changing career paths. I found who I truly wanted to be and who I wanted to become. So, ladies and gentlemen, when you're at crossroads wondering whether you need to take a change or make a pivot, take that leap of faith. Believe in yourself, and you may be just pleasantly surprised. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Divya, for that wonderful speech. May I now request timer Toastmaster Lyra
Yeah,
Pinto present the timer
yeah.
report.
Divya took 6 minutes 36 seconds.